morning Stampers, it's Fiona Whitehead here from craftystamping.blogspot.com, and I've got a card for you today which is using one of our retired sets. Yes, it's April 2017 and we've all just had the list of what's going for 2017-2018, and I'm not going to frighten you by saying Beautiful You is going, because it's not. We've only just had it, and as we all know, it's so popular and that's staying another year. But what has been put on the list is Botanical Blooms and the Framelets. And I love this set. And I have used it quite a lot, so I don't mind it going. But what I thought I'd do is put the two together. And if you've got Botanical Blooms, have a play with it. If you haven't, get in there quick. You know, have a look on my site and see if it's still there. You might just be lucky to catch a bargain. The other thing that's going is our gorgeous designer series paper stacks, which, as you know, I've used a lot, but new ones are coming. So it's goodbye to the old and hello to the new, and I'm really excited about the new stuff. So today I thought we'd have a little play with the old papers, and I'm using Daffodil Delight because it's such a gorgeous day here in the UK today. The sun has been shining, it's been lovely and warm, and it's making everything seem cheerful. So here we go, let's have a go at playing with this card then. So I'm using Daffodil Delight cardstock, and I've cut our cardstock in half, and I'm going to just fold that over. Here's my bow folder. Just fold that cardstock over. I don't know about you, but Daffodil Delight isn't a colour I normally use. I'm not really a yellowy person, but now and again it's really cheery, isn't it? And I like it. There must be some people there though that love it. So this is the designer series paper. I'm using the dots. This one's got the words on this on the end, and there was stripes or flowers, if you remember. So I'm excited to see what's on our new ones. Now the size of the DSP here is 5 3/4 by 4 inches. I'll put all the other measurements, the centimetres, on my blog. And I've now got a piece of white Whisper White cardstock which is going on top. I'm going to layer it, and this is slightly smaller than what you want. It's not. It's going to be 3.5 wide and 5.5 long. Now we're going to use, first of all, the long leafy thing out of Botanical Blooms. I'm going to just grab my big shot and pop it into underneath the camera and just show you how I'm going to cut this out. I'm doing it so it's going to go that way around. Make sure we do that first. And just sort of to the edge. So we're going to leave an edge here and an edge there, which is going to give us where we've cut it in the middle, if you can see that. So that's what I'm going to do there. Let's just get that off. Pop that back on. So it's up to you how, you know, if you want a lot of stalk, then keep the stalk on. If you just want all the flowers. And I love the way all these little petals came out. And then you had little petals you could use. But anyway, right, let's just wind that. I put my handle the wrong way, really, shouldn't I? There we go. That's not going to be very difficult to do. And let's just move that out of the way. There we go. And just pop it out. It's really pretty, but there. And see, as I say, see, you could use all those little ones for petals. Confetti for weddings, if you had enough of them. Just put that over to one side. Now, just put that over there for now. We don't need that for a minute. What we're going to do now here is I've got my lady from Beautiful You. I'm going to stamp her up on the back of, onto some of my designer series paper. That's what we're going to use for the paper piecing to cut her out. Just forgot to grab my scissors. So I'm just going to grab the scissors and stamp her. There we go. Quite simple. I thought I'd do this on camera just to, you never know, there may be some people who are not quite sure what paper piecing is. These are Stampin' Up's snips. I do find them worth the money for cutting out. I know other scissors are available, but you know, why not use the best when you can? So just go down to her V-neck there. You could also cut out the hat as well if you want her to have completely the same outfit. I'm in camera there, but I won't today. I'm just going to use a bit of our watercolour pencils just to colour her hat. There we go. There's her dress. Chop that off at the end bit, like that. Oh, we get our lady back again. She's disappeared. And just stamp her onto our Whisper White cardstock. Like so. And then you can use, there's all sorts of different glues you can use. We're just literally going to glue her dress on. You see, it's amazing, isn't it, the effect that that does? It just lifts the image and it's so pretty. So just a little bit of snail on there. You could use Tombow, but I would get that a little bit too messy for me, I think, the Tombow for such a small piece. There we go, there she is. Now let's just colour her in, colour her hat in. Which colour should we use? I think we'll just use the grey for now. And a little bit of shading on there. Dark on some bits, just to shade it up a little bit. And I have got the blender brush just to blend it in a little bit, just to soften those edges. There she is in all her glory. And you can see how the card is coming together now. So what we'll do first, I think, is we'll just glue on the DSP onto the back of the card to stop it all moving around. There we go. Now I have got my Daffodil Delight here. I'm going to grab one of my sponges, and I think I'm just going, I didn't do it on my first card, but I'm just going to sponge the edges of this white cardstock, just to stop it being quite so harshly white. I am a fan of sponging edges. I started my stamping off in the early 2000s. Stamping was, sponging was all the rage, and I still love to sponge. So there, I'm just going to soften those edges a little bit. There we go. Let's pop that over there. Now the next thing we're going to do is our flower. I have cut this out already on the Big Shot. You can use any of the flowers in the set, and I've got this one here, and I've done it in the DSP. You can do it in just the cardstock, or just white, or a contrasting colour. And I'm just going to puff up these little petals, and I've used the same cardstock here just for the centre, so I'm just going to glue that in the centre there. A little bit of snail on that. And I'm going to use some of our metal rimmed pearls, and here's my wonderful pokey tool. I love this. You know, if you don't have a pokey tool, paper piercing tool is its proper name, I call it a pokey tool. If you don't have one and you're wondering, should I bother, would I use it? Yes, you really would. You use it for so many things. It's such a useful little tool. Great for getting the backing off these little things, and then for holding on to them when you're trying to place them, and so you're not fiddling around with your fingers. And great for getting all the little bits and bobs out of the back of the dielets as well. So I just love mine. There we go. I'm also going to, come on, let's sponge. Like we did last summer. Here we go. Don't get me singing. I used to be a singer in my old life, and I haven't done it for ages, so any excuse and I might just go off into an opera aria, you never know. That would be funny, wouldn't it? I could be the singing stamper. Wouldn't that be brilliant? I don't think there's many of those around. I could give you a trill at the beginning. Right, Fiona, stop waffling. Next is, I'm going to use some of the copper metallic thread. Now, do you know, I don't even know if this is retiring or not. I should have that on my list, shouldn't I? I should know in my head. I should have been studying that catalogue, but I don't. But I'm going to use it anyway. And the best way I find of using this very, very fine thread is to wrap it around my fingers. Before I do that, I'm just going to put a little bit of sticky glue, put the snail on the back of my flower, just so I've got somewhere to stick all this thread when I do it. So pick up your thread and wind it around your fingers. 2 fingers, 3 fingers, however wide you want your thread. I'll just do 2 for now. Whoops, there it goes, off it goes. So fine, isn't it? And I think some people have bought it, not really known how to use it, and ended up not using it, which is a shame because it really does add. So there we go. Just keep those little ends in there if you can, and stick it onto the back of whatever you want to use it on. Can you see? It's sticking. It's very subtle. It's not in your face, and we love it for that. Well, I do anyway. So wind a bit more round. It has a mind of its own, shall we say. A copper thread with a mind of its own. Take it off your fingers and stick it back on. Now, I'm going to just glue this lot down so that they don't all go wandering off. This side anyway. Now before I do this one, I'm just going to put my sentiment. I used two actually on this card. Where's my card gone? I did the little one at the bottom, and then because our punch is going, this one, the late decorative label punch, oh, I thought, right, I'm going to use one of those as well. Quick, use them before they go. So I've got the In Style wording, which I'm just going to pop at the bottom. Again, I'm just going to use the Daffodil Delight, so it's not too harsh. I think black would be a little bit too harsh. You could use early espresso if you want to soften it a little bit, but I'm going to keep it with the Daffodil Delight. And just pop that down there in the bottom left-hand corner. Comme ça. See, I can speak French too. That's something else I did in a previous life. French and German, although I must admit they are a bit rusty now. And let's just, while we're playing with it, get out our decorative label punch. Pop that out. What am I going to do now? Yes, I'm going to sponge the edges. There you go. You don't have to sponge if you don't want to. Don't do it. Do it in a different colour. Do it in lots of colours. These are just ideas. You don't have to follow what I do to the letter. Just sometimes you can see something, go, oh, yeah, that's similar. I like that. Let's do that. Or no, I'm going to twist this. And that's great. And if you do copy it, let me know. I'd love to come and have a look. If you've got a blog, give me a shout and I'll come and see. Let me just make sure I've got that the right way around. Yes, I have. And doing the life looks beautiful on you. Such a wonderful phrase. And I've got a friend who I'm sending this to because she's always very stylish and life does look beautiful on her. Right, so that's going to get glued onto there. Okay. Let's try and match them up as best we can. There we go. And I'm going to use a flower on my dimensional, which is here. Look, it's like fly away hair, this little gold stuff. I'm actually going to put the flower just there so we can't see that our poor girl's got no legs. Bless her. Pokey tool to take the backing off. There you go. So just pop that down there. Don't want to cover her too much. There we are. And then just a couple more dimensionals onto the back of our label, and we'll just pop that up there. And there we have it. We've got Beautiful You meets Botanical Blooms. So I hope you like my cards, and don't forget to drop by and have a look at my website or my blog if you need to buy anything, especially have a look at that retiring sets. They're all going quick. And if you're in my area in Andover in Hampshire, come and join one of my craft classes. We have great fun in the evenings. And thank you for watching. Bye.